Great question, Corey. What I would say is there's a great precedent in both U.S. history and Vermont history of where you have a supermajority of one party, executive of another party coming in to bring about changes has worked. I think a good example nationally is Lyndon Johnson, who arguably was the champion of civil rights, even though that seemed counterintuitive at the time. I'm very friendly with John Campbell, who's the president of the Senate. I'm very friendly with Phil Scott, who I'm hoping will be lieutenant governor with me. I have a lot of respect for Shap Smith. So I think the legislators are good people. They just need some real leadership from the governor's office to get some tough things done. The big complaint I have about our current administration and our current governor is came into this two-year cycle with huge majorities in both houses, came in with approval ratings in the 60s, and didn't get anything on the table to address rapidly rising property taxes, has done very little, in my opinion, to promote jobs in our economy. Those are the two biggest things that I'll be working on when I get there, and I'm counting on the support of the Democratic majorities in both houses to help me do it. I would say two things. One, people often ask me, and I'm here at the Agway with Bob Curian, who's a successful small business entrepreneur up here. People ask me, gosh, isn't it tough running for governor? I go, boy, it's a lot easier than running a small business and making sure you can pay 75 people twice a month. I'm out talking to Vermonters, listening to people, learning about people's problems. It'll be tough when I'm governor. But running for governor has been fun. It's truly a blessing. It's great to live in a place like Vermont where somebody like me can come out of the basically as an unknown. And if you saw polls just about 10 days ago, I'm probably within single digits of winning this race right now. So I think it's a little bit of a steep climb. People are starting to pay attention to really what I would call the overreaches and the failures of the Shulman administration. That's why I'm drawn to this race. I really think Vermonters, a silent majority of Vermonters and a vocal minority of Vermonters join me and want to see change and more balance brought to Montpelier. That's why I'm in this race. I think we got a great chance of turning out an incumbent governor for the first time in 52 years, and I'm enthusiastic about being part of it. Great question. One of the more common questions I'm hearing around the states, and one of the more common critiques I'm hearing of what's wrong with Vermont and just the rapidly rising cost of living that's forcing folks that love Vermont to think about moving out of Vermont. I've got a similar experience. The home I live in Windsor County, my property taxes are up about tenfold in the last 21 years. So I think it's a big problem. I think there's a need to rapidly address a solution for not having taxes increase anymore while we figure out how to restructure things. That's going to be one of the fundamental principles of our campaign, something we'll be talking a lot more about over the next 2 weeks. So I'd ask you, Lisa, to stay tuned. You'll be happy with what we're going to be talking about. Ms. Flood, one of the challenges that we have for seniors right now is just a widespread lack of optimism about the future. As I look forward to becoming a happy, healthy Vermont senior citizen, what I want is to know that I can afford to stay here, and I think maybe more importantly, be optimistic that my kids and my grandkids are going to not only want to be here, and I think Vermont's a very attractive place for people to want to be, but that they're going to be able to afford to be here, and that's going to be a competitive place for my kids to bring up my grandchildren. And that's what I think we need to do. We need to really get property taxes so they're not rising rapidly. We need to figure out how to get things reorganized so that Vermont becomes a more competitive, affordable place for everybody. That in and of itself will make it a much more competitive and enjoyable and desirable place for seniors.